they're unfortunate enough to be born to a poor family.
You know, support the helpless.
Yes, sir.
Screw the hopeless.
Well, I disagree.
Or the clueless.
Help the hopeless. Help the hopeless.
Screw the clueless.
Well,
the people who don't want to even try. I live here.
Yes, sir.
I came through Katrina. I know firsthand what this is all about.
And I appreciate that. I believe that what happened here was one of the worst abandonments of people on American soil since God knows when. It was a national disgrace.
It was.
And the people who were in charge on both parties, I'm talking folks like Michael Brown, like Chertoff, like everybody else who made the mistakes, I think that they got away with murder.
The blame lands mostly with our mayor.
And she should be accountable as well, sir.
Can I ask you? That's Che Guevara, right?
Yes, sir.
Didn't he? What did he do down in Cuba?
Well, it's interesting. There's actually a couple of things on that. I wear this shirt for two reasons. I'm a big fan of early Che's work. The work he did as a doctor, the work he did when he was giving care to people who didn't have it, and the choice he made when he was fleeing after the first botched invasion, similar to the Bay of Pigs, when he had a choice to take his medical bag or his rifle and he picked it up. The later work he did, if I may finish please, the later work he did when he was working with the kangaroo courts, when he was in charge of those parts of the government. So I wear this shirt partly as a reminder of the evils of selling out to a big government that does not have your best interests at heart.
And you're looking for more government here?
No, sir. I'm looking for accountability from both parties.
Well, that's the most intelligent thing you've said.
Thank you, sir.
So let me ask you.
How can you support a government takeover of health care?
Because I believe that what we have at the top level is not a free market, sir.
Of your imagination.
That's probably correct, sir. I believe that the corruption at the top levels between the insurance companies and the government is a disgrace.
I agree with you 100%.
Absolutely.
But you don't take government and try to let them run something that ain't capable of running anything.
Well, I think that the oligopoly in that area
not capable of running anything.
And I think that them and the corporations,
I said,
them and the corporations that
are running your streets pretty well, right?
They are. Look at these streets.
Hey, they exist.
They've fallen down.
They exist, don't they?
Better than not having
better than a dirt road, right?
Did your water faucet turn on?
Did private corporations do that, or did the government, sir?
The private corporations built these roads.
Well, contracted by the government, right? Right, so the government paid for it. And
the government has a role. They have to have a
military.
Okay, so you think healthcare is a right? Do you think any other service is healthcare? Does healthcare require the service of an individual? Does one person have to provide a service to another individual?
I beg your pardon. I'm not sure I understand the question.
Okay, I mean, would you say that when a doctor performs surgery, is that a service he provides?
Depends on the surgery. If it's a lap band, maybe. If it's a tummy tuck or a facelift, probably not. And if it's saving a child's life, you betcha.
Okay, so let me ask you. So you don't, in certain circumstances, it's not a service. Then would you say that we should, like, if somebody's qualified to be a doctor, would you support forcing them to provide services against their will?
I'm not really sure what that means. I know that a lot of the way that goes is actually locked down by the government and the business and the corrupt insurance companies that have frankly paid off both parties at this time.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to think of some questions here. I'm sorry.
Well, I know you're all good, and if I'm not clear or anything, please let me know and I'll do my best. I don't claim to have all the answers, but I feel like I have a couple really important questions to ask.
I got some. I'm going to ask you some questions. What is a pre-existing condition?
That's a wonderful question. Let me tell you a quick story about that. This isn't me or my friends, but it's a gentleman I respect. I follow his work. Very important in our industry. He's 3 years in a battle with an insurance company who is refusing to pay for his wife's childbirth because his child did not get a social security number to be born, and B, they did not clear that beforehand with the hospital. And every day they don't pay for that. They get the extra interest off of that. It's a perverse incentive, I believe is the economic term. And especially in a system like insurance where it's a deferred good, right? There are some goods where you can tell if they work right away, right? If you pay a mechanic to fix your car and you turn it doesn't run, and you turn it on afterward and it runs, you at least have some idea if that works. But in insurance is a deferred good, right? You don't know if you have insurance until you get sick. I mean, you might think you have insurance, but you don't know until you get sick. And I think it's just a disgrace the way that I feel like hardworking folks who are just trying to get by are being screwed by politicians at every level, in every party, with their corrupt connections to the fat cats who run that system.
But when you say, you know, you were talking about an issue that... Hold on.
Oh, no worries. You're totally good.
Yeah.
And again, like I say, I don't claim to have all the answers, but I do have a couple pointed questions for the people in charge.
Okay. Go ahead and ask your questions.
Okay. Why are they teaming up to screw us?
I don't understand your question.
Okay. You know how, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in his farewell address, George Washington cautioned us against a couple of things. And again, I'm operating from memory. I may not have the quotes direct. But if I remember correctly, he cautioned us against the evils of faction.